And welcome back to Heat of the Drum. My name is Steve. Today, the video is all about drum smoker maintenance. So you've taken the time, you've built one from scratch, or you've went out and bought one, and now you're wondering, how do I maintain this thing, keep it functioning, keep it from rusting out? I'm going to show you how I do mine, and let's go ahead and get right into it. Let's go over some of the things we'll be using today. So what I have here is just a cheap little soft bristle brush, which is good for wiping dirt and stuff off the drum. I'll show you that. We're going to be using a thermometer because we're going to be heating this thing up. Right here is just a plastic scraper. This is a metal scraper, and this one's pretty stiff. Some canola oil, a microfiber towel, and then just an old junk towel to use. So the first thing I'm going to do is go ahead and put my chimney in here. And we'll go ahead and get the lid off. Go ahead and get any grates out. Let's go ahead and get this basket out of here. Okay, so I got about 8 to 10 smokes on this new drum that I built, and that's why I'm going through the process of re-seasoning the inside and re-oiling the outside. I don't want it to start rusting. And if you're interested in building one of these drums, I will have a link at the end of this video to my drum smoker build video, so you can check that out if you're thinking about building one. So let's talk about our scrapers here. What I have here is just it's probably about a 4 or 5 inch wide plastic, just a cheap plastic scraper. Now this will get used every time before I smoke anything. I'll come in here and I will scrape around the edges. I'll scrape the bottom of the lid just to get anything that might be hanging off or any debris off. This harder scraper works good on the very bottom. Sometimes you'll get some grease that'll drip down in there, and you'll really need to get at it, where this plastic scraper might be a little too flimsy for that. So it's always nice to have a good stiff metal scraper. So that's the first thing I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and just scrape the sides, check out my lid, see what that looks like, see if that needs scraped, and then we'll go ahead and work on getting the bottom cleaned out. So basically what I do is I just scrape all the sides, let it fall to the bottom, and then I'll get my little shop vac. I have a little shop vac that is specifically for cleaning out my smokers, and that's what I'm going to do next. Let me also just say that the basket design that I use for the charcoal doesn't let a lot of ash fall down in here. You can see it's kind of piled up right there a little bit, but that's after about 10 smokes. So we're going to go ahead and get that vacuumed out now. So now that I got the smoker on its side, a couple towels laying here, I'm just going to get in there with this plastic scraper and this metal scraper, and just using a flashlight, go ahead and get the bottom of that scraped out real quick. Not the funnest thing to do, but it's a necessity. we're done vacuuming and we still got this on its side, we're going to go ahead and take our brush here and get all this stuff off. Bottom of our wheel brackets. And I can see just a couple little spots here with some rust. So I'm doing this right at the right time. We're going to oil that and get that taken care of. And I'm just using good old cheap, great value canola oil. And since we got this on its side, we're going to go ahead and spray the bottom now. And we're going to coat it good. And while I have it here, I'm going to go ahead and make sure that I get the bottom of each one of them brackets, just like that. Bottom is done. Well, I tell you, summer is almost over and we got leaves everywhere coming down. All right, our next step, let's get back to this. So we got our bottom done. Let's go ahead and take our brush and let's go ahead and get any dirt and debris that's on the drum itself. And all I usually do is just kind of go like this around the whole thing. And I'll just work myself all the way around. And now I'm going to oil it, and I'm going to do the same thing. Just hit it really good with this canola oil. Now this is a homemade drum smoker. I painted this with engine paint, VHT black engine paint. And if you have a nice professionally done paint job on your smoker, maybe you just want to oil on a rag and wipe it on. I put it on thick. I don't mind. I want the extra oil on there. I want it to get hot and run and drip down and fill in all the cracks and crevices to keep this from rusting. This is just what works for me and my smokers and how I maintain them. And remember, we don't want to forget the inside neither, so we're going to go ahead and hit that too. go ahead and show you what the bottom of the lid looks like. It's not bad at all. Eventually, over time, it'll build up and you'll really need to start scraping. This one, like I said, has got about 10 smokes in here, and there's really not much going on there. But I'm still going to go ahead and take my scraper and just do a light scraping. Little buildup right there, but other than that, not bad. We'll also go ahead and spray the bottom of this again. Making sure to get in that lip. Just like that. And today I'm just using some Kingsford. Now it's time to start a fire. And one thing I'm going to do here too is I am going to hit these grates. All right, let's go ahead and dump it. Let's go ahead. And this is my restrictor plate that I use. I'm going to go ahead and spray this guy too. Top and bottom. And then we'll get him in. And I have 2 more wire racks. Go ahead and hit those. And go ahead and get this guy. And I'll go ahead and get my temperature probe in here. Well, let's go ahead and get our lid on now. It's been 10 minutes. And what I'm going to do is go ahead and spray the top now. I'm also going to hit my chimney pipe. I'm just going to come in right now and go ahead and wipe off this little damper lid because that doesn't need a lot of oil on that. So we'll go ahead and get that off. And I'll do the same to this. This handle right here is stainless. We'll go ahead and get that wiped off. And you can see why it's a good idea to have cardboard under here when you're doing this, because it's going to run and it's going to drip. And man, it's going to fill in all those cracks and crevices, and that's exactly what I want. I'm going to go ahead and set my damper here. I want this to be about 1.5 inch opening. So we'll just kind of eyeball this. Be easier if I get on this side. Right there. That'll work for me. So now what we're going to do is just let this continue to heat up. We want to get this into those upper 300s, maybe low 400 degree mark, and really get this oil to bake in here and really coat everything. And I will come back with a rag and start wiping excess oil off the lid. I don't want it puddled up on here, so I'll wipe that smooth. I may or may not wipe the sides. Just going to play it by ear and just see how it goes. If I do any wiping on the sides, it'll probably be very minimal. All right, we are 30 minutes in, and right now we are 340 to 341 degrees, right around in there. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this damper down there all the way now. I'm going to get this thing really going hot. And now's a good time for me to go ahead and wipe this lid. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. And like I said, I'm just trying to get any excess oil off of here. I don't want it puddling on here, so we're just going to wipe it nicely. And I'll clean up around there. Once I take the chimney out, once I'm done, I'll go ahead and wipe that. That is looking really good. And you can really see all the oil that has dripped off on this cardboard, so it's really ran down. It's starting to bake on good. Like I said, we're going to give this 30 more minutes, and then we'll see if I have to come over and give this a slight wipe down. Okay, it's been another 15 minutes, and now we're getting into the 350s. We're at 353, 54, right around in there. And I am just going to lightly go up and down the sides. And just get any loose runs off of here. Ooh-wee, this rag starts getting really hot. And there you have it, my friends. That's how I maintain my drum smokers. Now, you could let this bake on for another 15, 20 minutes. If you let this go, this would get into the 400s and really get hot. But I'm good with it the way it is. And we're going to wrap this video up. I appreciate you watching, and hopefully you picked up some tricks and tips. And I am in the process of working on this drum over here. Let me turn you around. So we got this one here going, and we're going to be working on a good recipe tonight that will be on the channel very soon. So thanks for tuning in and watching, and hopefully you picked up a few tricks along the way. I'll see you the next time on Heat of the Drum.